What's up, y'all? Evil Danish here, and I thought I'd make this video today to tell you about this wonderful thing that I did in vanilla. Now, let me set the stage here. I started playing WoW at launch in November 2004. I was probably about 10 or 11. It's hard to say, but around that time. But if anything, at the time, an MMO was entirely new to me. I hadn't played EverQuest or anything like that. Warcraft 3 was the most multiplayer thing I had ever played up until that point, and even that was fairly limited. But needless to say, I got sucked in, and it was a wonderful experience. And that time around, I chose to go with a warrior. And you all know how that turns out if you go in vanilla, and I had no idea, so I was in for a shit show, I guess. But I was ready for it. Anyway, as I was leveling up along the way, I'd spent pretty much every dime I had made on whatever I thought was cool. From anything on the AH to respecking like a million times to switching professions a lot, because first I'd want enchanting for the cool effects, but then I'd get bored of grinding the dust off of nothing because I couldn't get greens, so I just kind of would get bored of it and switch to something else until I got bored. Anyway, yeah, it was a lot of back and forth with things. I was probably at the respecking gold cap around level 30, so I was screwed in terms of making money. I mean, shit, I was so broke that I actually had to ask my guild and my friends to donate to me for a normal ground mount, and after about a week or two of begging, they actually did it, so that actually worked out in my favor. But anyway, I was broke, and I was pretty damn envious of everyone who had the money. Like, seeing the people run around with their nice, cool mounts and their fucking nice items and their guilds and all that fancy smanchy stuff. Yeah, I didn't like it. So, anyway, I was broke and it sucked. So, one fateful day in Western Plaguelands, I was there grinding out Argent Honoret because, as useless as it was, or it turned out to not be so useless, but as useless as it was at the time, I liked it because I got to kill skeletons and get items, and then bring them in for a little bit of a number increase. It was cool, so I would do that a lot. And this was one day I was doing that, and I was killing skeletons, and then something dropped into my bags. Now, I open up my bags and I see this ring, and I mouse over it, and it's got a purple name. Now, at the time, I didn't really know what a purple was. I've never seen one, never heard of one, friends hadn't gotten one. Sure, guildies had them, but I didn't talk to them, so I didn't know about them. And to look at it, and it's got some frost resistance and some frost damage, and then some long effect that I didn't really have the attention span to read, so I pondered over it for probably about a second before I closed up the bags and went on my merry way. Now, at the end of the night, I just turned in all my vendor junk, turned in my stones, and logged off. I kept the ring though because it seemed too cool to just vendor right off the bat. Maybe I could find some use for it. So went to sleep, got up, went to school, came back home. Next day, jumped on, and still had the ring and was still grinding skeletons. So didn't really have a solution yet. But then my friend logged in. My friend, we'll call him Trog because that was his character name. He was a mage, and I had met him way back. I'm still friends with him to this day, actually, and he would go on to help me out through a lot of shit in WoW, get me into some top-tier raiding guilds, and a whole bunch of stuff, but that story's for other times. But anyway, Trog logs in, and I think he was Frost at the time, so I have even more incentive to offer it to him, but I whisper him, and I'm like, hey dude, I got this ring, and maybe it's useful for you. If it is, I don't really know how to link at the time, so I'm just trying to describe it to him. I'm like, well, it's got this and this on it, and I don't really know what to do with it, and being a warrior, it's not necessarily something I really can use. So we chit-chat for a bit, and he's like, sure, send it on over. And I send it to him. Probably about an hour later, he gets it, and he opens it. He sends me a whisper like, oh, shit, dude, this is really nice. Like, really, really nice. I'm like, oh, well, it's not really that good for me, is it? He's like, I don't really think so, because you're a warrior, you don't use frostballs. I'm like, yeah, you're right, but you do, right? It's like, sure. He's like, well, it's yours, keep it. he's like, really? You're not gonna charge me or nothing? I'm like, nah, dude, I was just gonna vendor it if anything, because fuck it. I don't need it. Take it. So he thanks me, and I guess he puts it on, and we go about our days. Never really thinking too much of it after that. So, if you haven't caught on by now, the item I gave away was this. The Freezing Band. One of the best in slot rings for a mage. So, at the time, this was worth probably about 400 or 500 gold on the low end, 1,000 plus on the high end, easily. I had given away enough money for an epic mount, even then some potentially, or, if anything, enough gold to last me through vanilla without really a problem to think about, for free. And I didn't even think twice about it. And with that said, I spent the rest of my days in vanilla broke as a joke. I actually didn't get my epic ground mount until 2.4 when a friend of a friend actually bought it for me. So I still mooched well into TBC. Then I started raiding, got into some Karas, and that all changed. And by the time Wrath came, it came full circle when I was hacked, and through the process I ended up with 100k more gold than I started with, plus a bunch of auction house materials that made me even more. And so that's it. That's the entire story about the time I gave away the Vanilla Fortune. Do I regret it? No. Would I ever do it again? Fuck no. I'm charging for items now. And yeah, I guess in the end, it all came back in Wrath, and it's a fun story that I have, so I'll never forget it. I'm sure Trog will never forget it either. And please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. And we also stream on Twitch. We do WoW streams lately, but pretty much play whatever the hell I feel like. Just kind of turn it on when I get home, and whatever the hell I play is what's on stream. But maybe if there's a fan base, we can be a little more focused. But with that said, thank you very much for watching, and see you later.